Happy Sunday, and thank you for stopping by Basil Cooking Classes once again. It's Maggie, if you don't know who I am, and again, thank you for your time. Today, our quick bite is going to focus on a viewer request from Terry Charlton. Yay, thank you Terry very much for calling me. Her dilemma and what she wants to learn about a little bit more is frying an egg. And today we're going to do an easy egg and a sunny side up egg. We may get into scrambled, maybe talking about a little bit of a hard boiled. But eggs are very complicated things, but we might just have to wait till another video for that. So as you can see, I'm just going to give you a couple tips to start off. And then once we start frying an egg, I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about eggs and all that kind of stuff. So the first thing, as you can see, is I have everything ready to go. And this is called, in French, the term is mise en place, which means everything in its place. No matter what you're cooking, be organized, be ready, kind of think ahead and have everything ready to go so you're not opening cabinets and flipping through everything. Because especially something like an egg, it's quick, doesn't take much time, and usually the more simple a thing is to cook, the more complicated it can be. So the first tip that I'll give you is to use a, not stainless steel, a non-stick pan, which I have here. It's not a very expensive one at all, but I've had it for years. Non-stick is definitely the best surface you want to use. I know they have a pan kind of called Copper Chef or something. I've seen them do an egg, you know, in the infomercials. Maybe that works. I'm not sure. I've never used one. But definitely non-stick. If you don't have a non-stick, you can use a regular or really well-seasoned cast iron skillet or a regular skillet. You just need a lot more fat when you do those so they don't stick. And then speaking of fat, that's another key that you need to have when you're cooking an egg, is some sort of fat or some sort of lubricant. My usually fat of choice is just a spray. Maybe I should block the name. It's not like I'm, pronouncing Pam is the best, but it's just what I have. You can also use, and I have here, canola oil, olive oil, definitely some bacon fat that I keep in my fridge at all times, and just some good old-fashioned butter. For me, I like the cooking spray because if I'm going to be having an egg, I'm usually having it with some toast, and I'd rather have my butter on the toast and really taste it than to waste all those calories on an egg. So that's just me. So I'll keep this handy. And I've had my eggs out for about 20 minutes. I know food safety concerns, yes. Eggs can be dangerous, yes, with salmonella, blah, blah, blah. But there are certain things you can do to keep your eggs safe. 20 minutes on the counter isn't going to hurt anything. It's not something you have to do. I brought them all out just because they look nice, but I wouldn't bring them all out. If you're just doing 2 or 3 eggs, sit them on the counter for 15-20 minutes. Let them come up to room temperature so it'll help them cook a little bit more even. So I have eggs, our fat, non-stick skillet. I also have a couple spatulas we'll talk about, and yeah, so we'll go ahead and get started. The first thing about this skillet, I have it on a very low heat. On my range, it's between the second and the third line, because when you cook eggs, you don't really want a heavy, high heat, a big saute, because that can make them really tough. So one way you want to test your skillet, I have just a little bit of water here, and if you take the water and put it in your pan, you can hear it just a slight sizzle, and you can see the water just dances a little bit. And Libby, if you want to get a little closer, you can. All right, so I'll do that again. Do you want to put so with a little bit of water, as you can see, it just dances a little bit, nothing crazy. And again, it's on a pretty low heat. All right, so I'm going to take it. I'm going to spray my skillet a little bit. Not much. Again, if you want to do olive oil, canola oil, butter, bacon fat, whatever you want to do, you can do it. So the first one we're going to do, it doesn't even need a spatula, really. We're going to do a sunny side up egg. So you can crack it right in your pan if you want to, but sometimes eggs, the shells can come out, they can have red spots and all kind of funky stuff in it. So the best way to do it is to really crack it into a separate container. So I just have a little ramekin here. I'm going to do it quick and swift on the table, just like that. You don't want to, be dainty with it. Give it a nice one solid whack. Take your fingers in the middle. Oh my gosh, it's hard to do it under pressure. And go ahead and get rid of your egg. Keep your hands washed because eggs do have salmonella, or can carry salmonella. So you just want to make sure to keep things clean. So I have my egg here, and it's on ramekin, a heated non-stick pan with my little bit of fat in it. And we're just going to put it in the pan. Okay. So It's sizzling a little bit. It's not crazy. So it's a little bubble, a little sound. So what we're gonna do from this point on, I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. We're gonna put a lid on it. That's it. We're gonna let it go. I'm gonna time it. Actually, let me put my timer on for you guys. I'm gonna time it for 3 minutes so we can see where we're at. So we're gonna just let this go. And another thing, whether you're scrambling eggs or frying eggs just as this, you wanna do your salt at the last minute too, because salt can also tend to make eggs really tough. So we're just gonna let this one go. And like I said, we're not even gonna really flip it. If you wanna get in here and see, Miss Cameraman, how it is starting to steam up, and you can see the condensation coming up. And it's really not cooking, you know, crazy fast, but you can see a couple little bubbles in there. If you have it on too high of a heat like this and you have your lid on it, the bottom part of your egg can get cooked and the top can be, you know, undercooked. So when I like my eggs, I tend to like them over easy or sunny side up. Some people like them over medium, some people like them hard. So just think of whenever you're cooking an egg, it's kind of like the steak of a chicken. I guess you want to start at room temperature and then you can cook it to your desired degree of doneness. So we have 2 minutes left on this one and it's doing really well. And as you can also see, I can shake it a little bit. Oh, get a picture of this, Liv. See, there's a lot of water that's starting to come up as the egg is steaming itself and kind of go down. So this has been on here about 1.5 minutes, and I'm going to check it in just 1 minute. So while we wait that 1 minute, one really cool thing I want to tell you about an egg is if you ever see the big fancy old school chefs, it started in the 16th century. They wore big white hats, and usually the height of the hat kind of told about your rank in the kitchen. So, but they had folds on the outside of them, and each of those folds represents not a distinctive way to cook an egg, but it just represents the many different ways to cook an egg. So we're frying them here. There's 12 different ways to fry an egg. You can hard boil, soft boil, blah, 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 and all that. You can scramble, shirred eggs, custards, deviled eggs, souffles. There are tons and tons of things to do with eggs. Eggs are great also because they're cheap and they're easy to make, and this is kind of like the epitome of fast food, I guess you could say. So we've got about 50 seconds left, and I'm going to keep letting it go because, let me turn it just a little bit. We're not quite there, but it's going to be a beautiful sunny side up egg. I got my plate ready to go for when I'm done. Just like that. So yeah, we're just waiting. 30, 29. All right, let's cut this guy off. And as you can see, I don't know, did you see all the water that came off of that skillet? As you can see on the egg, the white is all the way cooked up top. There is no brown on the egg on the outside, and the yolk is warm and just set. So to serve this egg, what I'm gonna do is voila, just like that. You put that sucker on top of a burger or biscuits and gravy. That's good cooking. Oh, there, my timer just went off. Okay, so the next one I'm going to show you is an over easy. Now you could make this one an over easy as well. Just keep the lid on it and let it steam for probably about another minute. You'd be at over easy. But I want to show you an easy way to flip an egg, because that's the most traditional way to do an over easy. And pretty much if I'm making an over easy egg at home, I like to flip it. So I'm going to show you the flip of an egg. So I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. It's still on pretty low. I got it on about the 3rd notch of my stove. I'm going to give it a little quick spray again. All right, I'm going to take my egg again, put this one to the side. Got my little dish right here. One firm, quick whack, just like that. Albumin's starting to come out already. All right, just like that. And that way, if you do crack it, let me clean this up. If you do crack it and the yolk gets busted, you can just keep it for another time and you don't waste all your eggs. Okay, so we're gonna put this guy, and this one, it didn't even make any noise because I just got done cooking one egg. I probably could have let it heat up a little bit more, but as you can see, the whites, whenever you put the egg down, it's okay. Whenever you put the egg down, the whites will spread. If your whites spread a lot, that means your egg is older. But if they stay, you know, tight and confined, that means your egg isn't as old. An old egg isn't necessarily bad. It just is what it is. And one thing I'm going to do with this guy, so I said salt after. I prefer kosher salt. So you just want a little bit of salt on top of that egg, just like that. This is screaming for a piece of buttered toast. And some pepper, just like that, okay? So while this one cooks, I'll show you again, it's not sticking to the pan, it's starting to cook around the edges. And we can talk spatulas now because we're going to flip this one. So as you notice, the pan there's a little bit of area around the egg left. Because if your pan's too small, you're not going to be able to get your spatula in there. And the types of spatulas I like are smaller ones. This one has kind of more of a rubber end to it. It's kind of soft. Really good for actually scrambling eggs. This one is harder, and this is actually the one I like. So, not timing anything, but this is probably take about 30 seconds more. And then we're going to flip it. Never be scared to flip an egg. I think one of the things when people go to flip it, I think an egg knows when you get a little scared and it's like, you know, that's got your number, I'm going to break. You got to be confident with your flip. So you step up to the pan and you say, egg, I got this, okay? So, so what we're going to do is flip it. And when you're flipping it, it's not a necessary flip over like, you know, a pancake or something. It's more of a gentle fold. So we're going to make sure our egg is nice and loose, just like that. We're going to grab it, if you can, by more of the yolk end, just like that. You want to swiftly go under it and then just flip it over to the top. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Just like that. And flip. Just like that. So this one, you can see it's starting to set a little bit. The yellow got a little bit more cooked than I would like to, but still okay. And from this point, it only take about 30 seconds to get a nice over easy egg, which over easy means that the yolk is nice and soft, the eggs are cooked fully, or the white is cooked fully. So again, if you wanted this over medium, you should have left it on that side, maybe another minute. On this side, maybe another minute more. And also, so this one's done. We'll turn off the heat because the egg still continues to cook in this pan as it's hot. So one thing you can do, of course, like I showed you, you could slide it off again. But I'm a little bougie. I like my presentation side, so I'm going to attempt to hurry up and show you how to flip this on the plate so we can get the prettiest effect. All right. So, 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Boom. Because it is a better of a presentation side, I like that side better. And this is lunch all day long. A little salt, a little pepper, and we're good to go. So that's pretty much how you do over easy, sunny side up. Maybe another day, if you guys are interested, we could talk a little bit more about, what's it called? Over hard, hard-boiled eggs, soft-boiled eggs, because there's still a lot more stuff to talk about. But don't be scared of your eggs. Like I said, low heat. You want a non-stick skillet, fat or spray of your choice. Be patient, use a lid if you want to, and I think that's it. And don't forget, eggs are very nutritious for you. Yes, they have some saturated fat, but your body needs a little bit of it. About 10% of your daily calories can come from saturated fat. So if you're going to eat saturated fats, an egg is a good one. It also has 13 essential vitamins. It has protein. There's about 80 calories in an egg. Of course, they go from small to jumbo, so whichever one you want to buy, it'll have a little bit of a different nutritional value to it. And I think that's it. Terry, I thank you so much for your questions. I hope this helped. Please let me know if there's anything else that you have questions about, or any of the viewers out there. I thank you guys so much for watching my videos. I love the feedback. Please let me know if there's anything on your plate that you want to kind of master. I'm here to help you do that. So enjoy this beautiful Sunday. Have an awesome day. Eat well, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.